Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Now, I don't have my skin because I'm just in the MC Creator testing thingamajig. At the moment, I'm not gonna kill you. So I'm actually working on a brand new mod. Like, I literally started it yesterday. Which is Kestrel's, time travel, I believe. That's what I called it. Here we have our wonderful time portal of happy things. Here we are. So we are in Kestrel's time travel, the ancient rainforest. So this is basically new mod I am working on to, well, add time travel via portals. I mean, time travel is not the most interesting. I mean, it is very interesting. But, I mean, these are kind of just dimensions. But, I mean, what really is a dimension? So, here we have some ancient forest biome. So, this is all based off of previous Minecraft versions as well. And we also have our wonderful ancient ocean here, which is very big. I mean, I'm not really sure it counts as an ocean, really, because, I mean, it is, like, surrounded by land, but, I mean, the game thinks it's an ocean. I mean, it's more of an inland sea, really. I don't have any food. So anyways, so this is in the structure. This is just the house I made. So here's the stuff we have. So first off, we have the pigmen, who are going to be used in villages in the future. There's also guards and archers of them. I mean, if you do, like, go attack them, then, they will fight back. And they are, not necessarily the easiest to take out. Oh no. Oh no. Close the door. I mean, they can open doors, but so yeah, wouldn't recommend going around attacking them. So even the normal ones can actually fight back, but they, most of the time they won't. I mean, if you give them enough time, they will retaliate. So we also have these metal plates, which, I mean, it's basically, this is like a two-dimensional iron block texture, but rotated. And this, you can't make these, but you can use them to create the plate, chest plate, and helmet, which for the, like, first armor added to Minecraft. They don't have textures when they show up on you at the moment. But they do have custom, or custom-ish item textures, which is pretty cool. I'm quite happy with how that turned out. So to get the, there's currently no way to get the blank time gem to begin with. But, I mean, neither is there a way to get the permafrost sample. But once those are added, you will be able to combine the two things to create this green time gem, which is, of course, what you use to, like, the portal, to go to the past. Or in this case, it's actually the future, because I'm already in the past. So the blocks of ruby. Ruby is what will be used in the future to trade with. pigment, but you can't really do that yet. So ruby ore can be found in like hills, mountain biomes, stuff like that. And you'll also find it in all of the biomes in the past here. Or I should say ancient past. But yeah, here's the ocean. Very big. And we also have some ancient islands here, which didn't really generate as actual islands in this case. They mostly just generated kind of there, but oh, we have some more over here, which is a bit better representation of them. Though they're still just kind of ending up as an archipelago, or not an archipelago. They're supposed to be an archipelago. Well, a peninsula. This is also the ancient swampland, which is the same as the ancient shrubland, just with a different color. You have mossy boulders here, trees. I mean, not much. It's the ancient swampland, which is based off of the swampland from the older versions of Minecraft. This isn't based off of anything in official Minecraft of the islands. We also actually have this really cool looking swampland island here, which I really like. Yeah. So, I mean, we will find sort of like islands and stuff as we go along. I mean, here we can find more ancient forests, some ancient plains, and here's the scrubland, or shrubland, which we saw earlier. This is also the ancient rainforest as well. We saw an ocelot back there. So yeah, there's quite a bit of diversity, and there's also the old flowers, like the roses, and also the small peonia, which I don't think was ever actually released. But what was this? It's chunk border. It's very authentic. I don't know. I think this way to get back. But anyways, as I was saying before I got distracted with everything, you will find rubies out in the world. They will pretty much spawn underground in this dimension, I guess it's not really, I mean, it is a dimension, but it is also just the distant past of the overworld. We also have a lava-filled ravine, which is kind of scary. But here's some ruby ore right here. So they'll spawn in the ancient past, and they'll also spawn in like mountains in the current time. And you will in the future be able to use them to trade with the pigment. But you can actually turn them into blocks, as you'd expect. Just, you know, make it into a block. But what you can also do is you can also put the blocks of rubies into the stonecutter, and you get loads of different variants. Here we have ruby bricks. We could also get some chiseled ruby. Some smooth. Ruby fences. Fence gates. Buttons. Pressure plates. Slabs. Stairs. Walls. Basically just everything. There's even cracked ruby bricks, which to get that, you just need, let me go into survival real quick. All you need to do is just mine your ruby bricks. Now you've cracked ruby bricks. If you want to revert it back to its original form, you can just smelt it in a furnace. You can also smelt the ruby blocks in a furnace to get the smooth ruby blocks. I don't think I actually have added a crafting recipe for the ruby door yet. I mean, it looks a bit weird, but it is a ruby door, and it functions just like a normal iron door. Some writing on it. But anyways, that's mostly everything, really. But there is still more. Well, we've kind of just checked out everything in the ancient overworld. We haven't really checked out anything in the ancient nether yet. So to make this, it's just nether bricks and a red time gem. And this mod isn't out yet, by the way, in case you couldn't already tell that. But it will be at some point in the future. So here we are in the ancient wastelands. So we have blazes here. So I mean, very similar to what you'd obviously expect. As well, it's the Nether. The Nether hasn't changed much, really. It's just even more lifeless, really. The terrain is a bit more like sort of chaotic, I'd suppose. I mean, this is kind of more like an older version of the Nether. I mean, I'm not really sure. But this definitely isn't quite the current generation. There's definitely a lot more layers. And there's also... Is this a basin? Like, I only recently found out these were in the game, and now I'm finding them everywhere. And, I mean, that kind of startles me. But there are other biomes, which we can hopefully... Okay, they're over here. So over here, we have the ancient Inferno biome, which is blackstone, loads of blackstone, and loads of blazes. There's fire particles, loads of blazes. Maybe a bit too many blazes, but there's a lot of blazes. So, yeah, wouldn't really recommend going into the ancient Inferno biome all that much, because it's not really the nicest place. We also have a ghast here, who's here, and we also have the Ancient Soul Barrens, which is the second, like, sort of other biome here. There's basalt and soul soil. It's basically like the soul sand valleys, but there's no soul sand. There's also basalt. I might actually replace the basalt with just either netherrack or soul soil, because the basalt looks kind of weird. I'm not sure I like it all that much. But not much really spawns here at the moment. But you will find ghasts and stuff. You will also find ghasts in like all the other places as well. And in the Inferno biome, you can also find magma cubes as well. They're quite rare. Mostly just blazes spawn. And striders can also spawn. I'm probably going to remove them from spawning. Or replace striders with a different variant of them at some point, because striders just don't really, I don't know. And there's just some problems with them being here. I mean, for one thing, they can spawn with zombified piglins riding them, and I don't want any of the like piglins to be here, if that makes any sense. But yeah, This is a very hostile biome, you can probably tell. And I mean, there's not much here to really get, but in the future I plan on adding some sort of ore here, like, basically like a, ancient sort of variant of netherite, like, because I mean, netherite only exists as debris, really. But I mean, obviously, since this is in the past, we could get an actual ore, which probably would be weaker, considering, I mean, normal netherite's an alloy of it. With, like, gold, I believe. I haven't really ever made netherite, to be honest. Because I haven't really played. I don't know. Ugh. Anyways, that is pretty much all there is in this mod so far. See, it's raining here. You can also set your spawn point in the past, by the way. But obviously you can't really do that in Never. I don't know if... I actually haven't tried. I don't actually know if respawn anchors work. And I mean, they should, in theory. Do you explode? You also explode. Okay, so both beds and respawn anchors both do not like me. Okay. Now I'm stuck down here. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is really to say about this mod. I will be working on it, and one day I will release it. Maybe. But yeah. There isn't anything really more to talk about. Because I pretty much showed everything off. And obviously, there's lots of little details. I didn't show off all the biomes in their entirety. But this is pretty much all there really is done at the moment. Plan on adding, obviously, more biomes. Some sort, at some point, some sort of monsters to the ancient overworld, or some sort of hostile creatures. Currently, there's not actually any hostile creatures. I mean, I guess the pigmen are neutral, but I mean, they don't appear naturally at the moment. So, adding some sort of monsters, maybe actually the actual monsters that are called monsters. You know, the ones from Legend of the... Ah! Possibly some more, obviously, pigmen villages, more pigmen, trading with pigmen, and just more stuff in general, more biomes, because I haven't gotten all of them done yet. I mean, there's still, like, I definitely want to add desert to the ancient past, and like the savannah, and taiga biomes, and also I'd kind of like to try maybe adding the unused snowy desert. so much into the dimension. It's like an Easter egg. And obviously, more content for the Ancient Never, making the time gems like actually obtainable. I mean, currently there's not much in the Ancient Never, really, but it definitely is quite interesting to go around and explore. Maybe add some, like, crying or glowing obsidian in the Ancient Never. Obviously more ruby variants, because you can never have enough variants of blocks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously also at some point I want to add an ancient version for the end. One of the main reasons I haven't done that, aside from just time constraints, I mean, most of what you've seen in this video was done today. But there's also the thing that, I mean, I haven't tested it, but I'm pretty sure end-like dimensions are broken in the version of MC Creator I'm currently on. But I will try to look into that in the future. You know, maybe future versions of the dimensions, the 3 main dimensions, the overworld, never end. Once I'm done with allowing you to travel to their past, maybe allow you to travel to the future, which could be pretty interesting, but that would also be quite difficult for me, particularly since I wouldn't really have much to kind of go off of, really. I mean, because I need to basically sort of evolve, if that makes any sense. The pre-existing creatures, sort of bring them into some more different forms. But I mean, that's obviously a lot harder to do than adding the past. Particularly since, I mean, for the past, I'm mostly basing it off of the actual, like, Minecraft's past. And using sort of the older Minecraft versions and stuff as inspiration. And also, I mean, we can travel to... Go away. We can travel to Minecraft's the past of the overworld and, like, see that all again, sort of. So, I mean, maybe Sky Dimension. Maybe. I mean, technically, the end is at least what's left of the Sky Dimension, though it's heavily altered. Which, I mean, I could kind of try to play with that as inspiration for the past of the end. But I'm not really sure as well. Because, I mean, if I make the end's past just be like a floating overworld, that wouldn't make much sense, really. Because I'd imagine the end was probably pretty different to the overworld from the get-go. I mean, and has just slowly deteriorated over time, becoming more and more lifeless. But I don't know. Anyways, that was all for this kind of weird video. Anyways, bye.